Welcome to Popular Pixel. Today I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at the NES Black Box games. Oh wow, and I just noticed here in my little playlist that I set up here, I somehow named it Black Bond. So I guess we're going to be playing the Black Bond games. Um, Anyways, for those of you who might have been into the NES back in the day, or whoever maybe even into collecting of video games today, the Black Box games were the often early NES games, very simple. I'll actually pull one of them up here. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the box for the game. It showed just a very simple look. So it kind of really showed what the real look of the graphics would be. I mean, it was slightly modified. It wasn't a direct capture or anything, but it wasn't hiding anything. That's pretty much what you got with this game. And the like I said, the early games were pretty much all in these black boxes. So what we're looking at here today are going to be a lot of the early NES games. Now, these are not going to include, oh, I got Rad Racer in there. That's actually a gray box. I was just about to say I'm not going to include any of the gray box games, but this is one of the gray box games. Oftentimes, like games like, let me see, Metroid. Now, I can't remember if Punch-Out, if that one was a gray box or a black box game. I didn't put Punch-Out on here since I don't have Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I just have the Punch-Out version of it. But we're going to be just basically picking through these. Obviously, some of them I won't be able to play, like Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, Gyromite. If I had a second controller plugged in, I guess I could fake Gyromite, but I'm not going to even attempt to do that, to be honest. But we're going to go ahead and get started here. We'll see how far this goes, because right now I've been watching as I was waiting for the stream to start here. The stream was kind of jumping around a little bit with some buffering, so I'm hoping that's been cleared away now, but we'll see what happens. I am going to go ahead and start off with a game that I have not played much of at all, and of course that is 10 Yard Fight. Many of these games, they had very simple title screens. Most of them didn't have any music. Well, okay, they had music. They might have music, but it would be a very simple music for the attract mode on the title screen. But let's get into this. This definitely is no Madden. If you're a Madden fan, let me see. Should I? You know what? I'm gonna play high school team. Basically, that's just the difficulty of the game. There's no way that I can play very much of the higher end stuff on this since I haven't played this game a whole lot. But I'm going to run my team down to the other side. Let me see if they can help block and get my, what is that called? The running back? See, I don't even watch football. Oh, good. He missed me. Come on, block me. Thank you. Well, that's not too bad. Wow. All right. All the way down to about the 24. That's awesome. Can I throw it or anything? Oh, I can throw it. Oh, I think I threw an interception there. Oh, crud. All right, well, that's what I get. All right, so let's see what I can do. Get him. Now, you might be, of course, looking at this and thinking this looks awfully primitive. I mean, of course, it came out, what, about 1986, or originally may even been like 1985. I'm not sure. But if you look at this and then think in contrast, oh, come on. Oh, did I intercept it now? I think I did. But if you look at this in contrast to what like the Coleco had to offer, or what the Atari 2600 had to offer, this was still leaps and bounds above those. Oops, I didn't mean to throw that, but I guess it worked out. Excuse me. gonna see if I can get at least a touchdown. Can I hack? Sure, we can do that. I've got some games on the NES that are already hacked. Now, the bad news about that is that the hacking has already been patched. Now, I don't have the new version of it, but I guess Playmaji has fixed the problem with the patching, so you're no longer able to actually first down. Good job. You're no longer able to actually do this method of hacking. So you know, it is what it is. I mean, eventually, I'm sure there's going to be another method. Now, I'm getting an error coming back at me from YouTube right now, saying that YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. So I hope everything's kind of working okay there for you guys. Let me know if it gets to be too crazy, and you know, I may have to cut the stream short. I hope that's not going to be the case, but wow, okay, that's enough of that. I can't get any further. Plus, I'm getting frustrated with that. Let me see. I think. Oh, actually, I had a patch on that one already. I just removed it. Let me see. Tennis. Oh, that's right. You know what? That's a black box game anyways. I just went ahead and inserted a patch for Popeye, but you know what? That was before I had Popeye actually on the console. So no, let me skip that one. Why would they care? That's a good question. I mean, again, they're not a software company, but the thing is, they are going to be offering games for people to purchase on their online store. So if people can hack whatever games they want to on this and play them, it kind of would eat into their business model, I suppose, a little bit. So, you know, there's that. But you know, there's always going to be a new way. Whether or not that comes before the Polymega is released, which I doubt, because I don't think they're actually going to even release to us the new update until after the launch of the Polymega, or well, it's already been launched technically, but after the next month's shipment. That's my guess, anyways. So let's go into tennis. This is another game that I have not played a whole lot of. And this is one of the infamous games that uses the exact same title music as several of the other NES games. And I also did a... Oop, I missed it. I did a video on this where you can actually do a swap trick where you pull out the cartridge and then insert the Super Mario Brothers cartridge and then hit the reset button. And then you're able to play new levels in Super Mario Brothers, which is kind of a cool thing. It can only be done with the top-loading NES, so it can't be done with the Polymega. But it's, I mean, obviously, if I were to use, oops, I'm sorry, I'm not really paying attention to the game all that much. But if I was to use patches, I would be able to kind of do the same thing anyways. So I'm not going to worry about that. But if you get some time, go back, look through the videos. It was kind of an interesting thing to be able to do, though, to just see some of the different levels that, man, I suck at this game. The different levels that could be found by modifying the memory in the NES. Well, it looks like that guy sucks at this game, too. I guess when you play one sucky person against another, even though, of course, that's the CPU that's playing right there. Ah. It definitely is no Virtua Tennis, I'll tell you that. Funny thing is, you know, with Mario Tennis, a more, I guess, modern tennis game, I always thought that Virtua Tennis was so much, like, probably one of... No, actually, I take that back. It's probably the best tennis game that had ever been released. I love playing that game on the Dreamcast. The Mario Tennis games, to me, just were not very good. Mario Golf, on the other hand, man, oh man, I really suck at this game. Mario Golf, on the other hand, I absolutely love that game. I do love golf games, though, so tennis has always been one of those that has been more of a, oh, you know, it's okay to play from time to time. I played a lot of it on the TurboGrafx, but NES, yeah, I probably have only played, I don't know, maybe a half hour's worth of tennis. He couldn't even get over to the ball. Look how slow he runs. Oh man. Again, even though, you know, with my comment from earlier when I was saying how primitive this game looks, but if you compare it to the stuff that came earlier with the Atari 2600, ColecoVision, and television, those sorts of things, I mean, this was still, you know, worlds better, but uh, it, it's such an awful game. I don't, I, yeah, it's just not a very good game. Oh, see, I didn't even realize I'm just talking away kind of in a daze with what was going on before. Didn't even realize that I was serving. Well, you know what? That's enough of that one anyways. There's much better NES games. I'm going to come back to Super Mario Brothers a little bit later because, again, that obviously is a classic. That one is still a great game. I want to get some of these kind of crappier games out of the way. Soccer is definitely one of them. Listen to that theme song. Definitely, there were better NES soccer games out there. Of course, those came much later in time. I don't even understand how to work this game, because the way he's dribbling this ball, you can't really control it. Like, I have to get... I don't know what I'm doing. You somehow got to maneuver your character behind the ball. It's like you can't do quick actions and just, I don't know, you can't move the ball very well. It just keeps going the wrong direction. And then it switches characters on you and you don't even realize it. Okay, what just happened there? Hey, Pee-wee, how you doing this morning? This morning? I guess this evening. It's even past the afternoon already. Wow, yeah. Like I said, this is a bad game. The early sports titles were really difficult to get into. Let's see if I can make a goal here. Ah, see, I thought I was actually going to get it past him. Now, depending on the console, of course, but the early NES sports titles definitely, they were nothing to write home about. How do I switch? Okay, that's how I switch characters. Oh, I ran out of the way. Yeah, it is. I mean, as of right now, who knows? I mean, they might add like an Atari module later on. You know, I have an Atari 2600. I have not played that thing in years. But it's, well, what is it? See, now I'm trying to remember. I've got an Atari 2600, and I want to say it's an 800. It's a computer one as well, that has both cartridges as well as tapes. But the games, there are a few games on the old VCS that I do enjoy playing. One of them, if any of you are familiar, that is a game called Berserk. Basically, it's a maze game where you're going around shooting robots. I don't know what it is about that game, but the Atari 2600 version of that game, I still, to this day, enjoy playing. There are very few 2600 games that I really enjoy playing. Hey, I got one. That's awesome. Let's talk about how awesome this system is, right? Well, moving on, we'll go to Slalom here. And I've probably played Slalom a combined total of maybe 10, 20 minutes my whole life. But when you can find some of these games really cheap, it would be nice to try to get into some of them. Oh my goodness. Nice little flip he does there. Okay, this is definitely, you know what? I might be wrong. This is not the game that I was thinking I was playing. I think this might have been one of the games that my brother brought over for me so I can install it onto my Polymega. So, speaking of how awesome this system is, that's one of the kind of perks, I guess you could say, of having the system. When you have friends or family who can bring games over to your house so you can install them even if you don't own them, to be able to play them on the console. That's really cool. But being able to actually purchase the games and have the digital backup on there is really awesome. As I've said many times over, that the Polymega has really kind of pushed me into buying more classic games again. And I will probably this week, if I get the time to film it, I'll be doing another Polymega collecting video. This past month, I'm not sure how many games it is that I purchased. I have quite a few of them sitting down here, but we'll get to that later on this week, hopefully. Yes, that is very true, Pee-wee. Actually, I don't even know how many Atari games that I have on there. Of course, so far I have all of the games that have been released on the Evercade. Evercade's, you know, it's not my favorite console. I like the concept of it, though, of being able to have retro games on the go, and kind of an encouraging way to get you to collect the games, because it really panders back to my youth. When you know, you used to buy these games, it would come with the instruction booklets, you would have the box, you would have all these things to kind of look at and get excited about. I wish, you know, more game companies would start, you know, having instruction manuals in their games again. But with the with the Evercade, I was actually planning on doing some videos surrounding the Evercade again sometime soon as well. But next month there's another 2 more cartridges that will be coming into my mail here. So I'm kind of excited about that because it's got the indie games in it, the one that I've really been wanting to play. An Atari module would be a very hard sell. I probably would still buy it. I mean, as far as the Atari 2600 goes, I probably only have about 20-30 games. I'm really not interested in buying too many of those games either. I was at a pawn shop, I guess it was a couple months back, and they had some Atari stuff in there. They just had it sitting in a box. I asked him if they had any classic games, so he pulled it out, let me look through it. One of the games was Tapper. I was interested in purchasing that one from him. I don't remember what the other one was, but he was wanting like $20 a piece for these games, and I'm not willing to play or pay that kind of money for Atari games. I mean, yes, that the only reason they are, you know, even worth $20 is because of them being collector's items. Outside of that, there's really nothing else that really interests me in Atari. Probably everything that I own is about all that I would want to own. Now, for the computer system that I have, I think it was called the Atari 800, or was it Atari 400? I don't recall. But the thing that interested me most in that was Atari Basic. I used to do Apple Basic back when I was in middle school. Either on my lunch breaks or whatever, I would just go into the library and putz around on the old Apple IIs and do different programming of games and things like that on there. Oh man, that sucked. I'm horrible at that game. But Apple Basic, yeah, that's what interested me. That's kind of odd to say. Someone has discovered their first arcade game already. Oh, yeah, well, I know I haven't actually heard what the first arcade game is going to be. I know when I was watching their Versus or their VS system launch, they were mentioning, or I saw a video of an arcade game. See, now I can't even remember what it was. I thought it was like a Genesis game, but it turned out it was the arcade version. Come on. So what game was it that they had mentioned? I used to actually be good at this game. Now this is a wrestling game that I actually loved playing back in the day. I mean, obviously now it's very simplistic, but Double Dragon. Okay, yeah, that was the one that I remember seeing in the video. I recently bought Double Dragon for the Genesis, and I was looking at it, I was like, that looks different. So yeah, that's cool. Ah. Hey, you can't throw me out of the ring. Get up, get up, get up, get up! Aw, oh, come on, dude, really? Oh. No, you don't. No, you don't. Come here, come here. Oh, crud. Get up, dude, get up! Oh, man. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna give that one another shot. Let's do Starman this time. Ah. I pick him up just so that he can kick me in the face. That was awfully nice of me, wasn't it? See, now, I don't like that. Once you pick him up... Yeah, that was nice. Once you pick him up, it's like you can't move. You just have to stand there and take it. Then they have to be awfully tired in order for you to do anything. So picking him up is not really the smartest of ideas. Oh, he's staying down long enough now. Ah, come on, dude. Oh, you're not going to go flying after me? Go ahead, come on up here. That was cheap, but it works. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, the Genesis, well, even the NES version of Double Dragon. Now, Master System, which is, did I get that in the mail yet? No, I didn't get that one yet. I ordered the Master System version of Double Dragon. And that one, it was doable. I mean, it was easy to control. Now, you ran out of continues once you reach the last level, but there's a code you can put in order to be able to continue playing if you do die on the last level. So it made it a little bit easier. But yeah, the console versions of that game were pretty ridiculously hard. I was actually playing, what's that game called? Final Fight, but on the Game Boy Advance last night. That game is insane. I remember it being just a much easier game than... Oh, crud. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing there. I got a text message and I started to read that. But I remember the game being a lot easier than it was. I think it has something to do with because I have played so much of it on the Sega CD or the Super Nintendo. But I don't know, the Master System one is just... not Master System, sorry. The Game Boy Advance one is just so insanely difficult. Man, I love this game back in the arcades. Oh, that one's getting away from me. Wow, Bluto's really not doing much. He's just staying down there. That's interesting. You know what? Oh, come on. I had to do it. Before I finished out the stage. Well, I know that is true for, yikes, for many cases. Especially once the Super Nintendo era and the Genesis era of video gaming kind of came around, they would do things to try to make the games, I did not mean to go up there, that would make the games more difficult because they knew that people were going to be renting these games and they, wanted to make sure that it was going to be hard enough that they wouldn't be able to just beat it in like the 20 minutes that they're sitting there. Kind of like with Altered Beast, basically, when that game was released on the Genesis with the console. And you can get through that game so quick. It wasn't even a difficult game. But later on, when they started to see this idea of people renting their video games out, they did try to do fillers. They tried to make the game ridiculously hard so that you couldn't just rent it, beat the game, and then I guess making you think maybe that you're going to come back for more. But if a game is too hard, I'm not going to pay much attention to it. I'm going to probably stay away from it. So if I rent it and the game's too difficult, why am I going to want to bother, you know? Crud. Come on, Bluto. Come on. Yeah, Streets of Rage 3, that was actually one of the games that I did not get into in the Streets of Rage series. I much preferred playing the, oh crud, come on. The second game obviously was amazing, and I loved the first game, but the third game I never got into. One of these days, I do want to try and locate, oh crud. I do want to locate the third game in the series just so I can play through it again and see if it's as bad as I remember it. Another one that was very much like that was the Golden Axe games, like Golden Axe 2. Why did I grab that? I wasn't thinking. I was not a big fan of the Golden Axe 2. And then, was it Golden Axe 3? I think that was the one that was released for Europe only. I might be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm remembering. Yay! No, not all my PS1 stuff yet. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of that since I played through all that stuff there. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever played Pinball on the Atari, but this definitely was a lot better than the Atari Pinball. But still, not a great game. most video pinball games weren't great to begin with unless you had a some kind of gimmick to go with it. I mean, yeah, this one has a gimmick. It's got little penguins and seals. Um, but if you think back to the TurboGrafx days, you know, like your Alien Crush and stuff on. I mean, even Sonic Spinball was a pretty fun game. Oh man, there was even some Game Boy Advance pinball games that I enjoyed playing. But you know, obviously, when it came to pinball on video games, it just did not do the trick. Up until more modern times, that is. But I absolutely love playing on a good pinball machine back in the day. That was pretty bad. I just realized that one of my turbo switches was thrown. That may have been why I was having some trouble earlier on some of the other games. Could have been either that or else it's just because I suck at them anyways. Oh man, yeah. Dreamcast is one of those consoles. It used to be my favorite console of all times, but you know, that kind of has waned a bit. But I'll tell you, one of my favorite games is still on that console, which, you know, I don't have hopes for it being able to go online or anything, but Phantasy Star online on the Polymega would just be so awesome. I mean, I still play from time to time, play some Phantasy Star online on, you know, some of those free servers. But that was, oh my gosh, I spent so many hours on that game, both on the PC as well as Dreamcast. But play that on the Polymega. Oh my gosh, that would be great. Yeah, no doubt, dude. I mean, there are the few people who actually own games like that, or not Big Nose. Who am I thinking of? Bonk for the NES that owns some of these more expensive cartridges. You know, they'll be able to play them. Now, there are from time to time, I have been able to get some of my reproduction cartridges working okay. But if I remember correctly, none of my NES ones have really worked properly on the Polymega. I guess it's just a matter of finding either the right hardware or whatnot to be able to have the cartridges built off of, unless they actually tear apart an original NES cartridge to sack it. I don't know if that would be the only way or not. But it is possible to get them on there and to play them. But in most people's cases, yeah, Little Samson will not be on very many consoles unless PlayMagic can strike up a deal and they'll be able to get that on their online purchase. But I don't know. I don't know if a game like Little Samson would be able to even do something like that or worthwhile. I've never even played Little Samson before. I couldn't tell you if it's a good game or a bad game. So, Little Samsung. Hey, that might be an idea for a homebrew game. Yeah, gotta love those autocorrects with those cell phones these days. It's quite annoying, especially when you're sitting there rather than in front of your computer. Honestly, I think that's enough for that game too. My interest has waned. Mario Brothers, I'll come back to that one as well. Mach Rider. Now this one's not too bad of a game. It's kind of a good arcade style racing game with a little bit more of a fighting aspect to it, I guess you could say. I didn't know much about this game up until recently when I saw it sitting on the shelf and I just decided to buy it to see what it was like. I actually I thought it was going to be more like a Rad Racer kind of deal or Hang On kind of thing, but it's. Well, I guess I have to shift gears. It's not too bad of a game though. Ah, okay. Usually, last time I played it, I didn't die this much. Come on, dude. Now I don't remember how it is that this one works. I think it's like your is it your gas or something like that? Like you can die like a million times and it doesn't matter if I'm remembering the right game here. Yeah, well, see, you know, oh, that didn't work. Concerning the fixing the patches, they're still going to have the patches on there, so that's not a thing. But being able to patch your game so that you can play. What happened there? Dang, I got my butt kicked that time. But I don't know how they would have actually fixed that problem as far as the patches go. Because, well, I don't even want to even try to think about it because every aspect that I put my mind through as far as the scenario goes, I would think that that's going to cause problems with their patching system. So you won't be able to, patch the games for those translations or for those ROM hacks and that sort of thing. I'm hoping what they did to make that change to keep people from being able to play games that they don't own. I hope it didn't break anything. Let me just put it that way. But yeah, Pee-wee is, or not Pee-wee, I'm sorry, Mechanical Animal. As far as how long, I completely understand. I hear about it from my brother all the time. He thought about signing up for the beta test, but he figured that he wouldn't be able to become a beta tester, thinking that the beta test was only for people who. Oh, let me turn my turbos on. Thinking that the beta test was only going to be for people who were YouTubers, and yeah, I mean, I did some YouTube stuff. Obviously, as you know, I don't have a whole lot of followers, only about 500 at the moment. But when I signed up for the beta, I think I was only around 300. So it wasn't about who's the biggest influencer or that kind of thing. It was about the games. So anyways, back to what I was saying on that. My brother, he's been, he talks to me all the time, asking me if I hear anything new in the Polymega world, that sort of thing. Because he's waiting for his console too. If I hadn't signed up for the beta test, obviously I'd still be waiting for mine. And I completely understand the anxiety that might come along with that. Not to mention I'm not quite finding the word that I'm looking for right now, but just being able to have to sit around and wait, time and time again when you think it's coming out, and then find out later on that that it's not coming to you after all. It's oh crud. Dang. Ah, crud. Hey, Matthew, how's it going, man? Big Mech. As far as your question, I guess that kind of goes back to what I was talking about with Phantasy Star Online. I honestly, I don't know. It would be awesome if they were able to do that. I don't see why they couldn't. I mean, the Polymega is... Ooh, crud. The Polymega is a computer in a box. Dang! I don't remember doing this bad on this game in a long time either. So I don't see why it wouldn't be a possibility to be able to do online gaming. What I would have loved to see is for them to implement a way where you could play these games online with a friend. I know, a lot of emulators have already done that before. Excuse me. So I don't know why this one couldn't. No, you can. If there is a patch available for, let's pull, let's say Final Fantasy VI for the Super Nintendo, and you own that one for the Famicom, and you put it in here. If there's a patch available online to turn the Japanese one into English, then yeah, it will work. They're not going to restrict something like that. Um, the only thing that they're now restricting is being able to hack ROMs to play games that you don't physically own. Oh, that's going to the sand. Dude, I would absolutely hope that they would look into it, but they have bigger fish to fry right now. Dang. They have bigger fish to fry right now than to have to worry about trying to get online play working, and I understand that. Wow, I suck at this game too. The Neo Geo, oh gosh, what game is that called? Um, the golf game on there, not Top Players Golf, but the other one is the one that I really enjoyed the most as far as when it comes to golfing games. That and Mario Golf 64, love it. Yeah, I mean, eventually there's going to be a new way. Turf Masters, thank you. See, and I sent that copy of it over to Saru, and I couldn't even remember the name of it. Um, but yeah, Turf Masters, that is such a great golf game. It just depresses me playing this one, so I'm going to leave that one. But Excitebike, now there is a game, and it was fun. I wonder if I can do it. You can do it. That's awesome. Listen to the music. It changes when you hit the reset button on the NES, and I would just sit there and I just keep resetting it and listening to the different way the music sounded. Anyways, that's enough of that, but I just liked playing around with that when I was younger. 157? Dang, that's a lot, man. I don't have anywhere near that amount. This was one of those games back in the day that, again, I could play this game for hours. Being able to create your own tracks, play with your friends, that sort of thing. This was one of the good earlier NES games. As a matter of fact, on the Wii when that came out, there was a kind of a spiritual successor to this game called Excitebike. That was a game that, again, was extremely fun. I don't know what it was about it, but I love playing it. I love being able to put my own music in the game to be able to listen to whatever I wanted to. Yeah, there were a lot of games I could do that kind of back in the day, but I'd have some stuff like "Bark at the Moon" by Ozzy playing in the background. I need to pull that one out of my closet sometime and play that one again. Ooh, I missed it. Ah. All right. Uh, okay, so what's this? What's this about X-Men 2? See if you can reset the console to proceed further into the game. So I'm guessing that was some kind of glitch in the game, that I guess a lot of times doesn't emulate. Kind of like with this, where I'd hit the reset button and the music would change. It, as far as what's going to be available on the online store, I know, obviously from the start, it's probably going to be more of the indie scene kind of stuff. Saru, I know he was mentioning that his game was going to be, ooh, his game was going to be included in there, and his game actually doesn't properly work on the Polymega because it's a non-official game. But then after they get it added to their lineup of online, then I will be able to rip my physical version of the game and play it on the Polymega since I own it, which is a pretty cool offering. But they're gonna have some of these other NES Maker kind of games on there, and they are trying to work with actual companies to get the rights to be able to put them on there. So, they're going to probably end up going after a lot of the same companies that the Evercade people have done, mainly because, I mean, those are going to be some easy ones to get a hold of to be able to release, because there are companies out there wanting to get their stuff out there. They're willing to basically make a buck off of anyone that they can. So as far as an exact who's going to be or what games are going to be on there, that I don't know. Outside of some of them that are already on my system, and I can kind of go through those. Actually, I could probably skip out of this game real quick here. So if we go to, say, like PlayStation here, this game here, Viper, that was a game that was included on the beta consoles. Now I think that's going to be included actually in the console itself when you actually get your Polymegas as well. But they were able to work up a deal where they can legally release stuff like that. For the NES, did I get rid of it? I don't think I did. Nope, I sure did. For the NES, if I look through here real quick, Doodle World. That's actually kind of a fun little game. Doodle World, Flea, Dragon Master. Some of these kind of games are the games that are going to be available on the system. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Okay, so it wasn't a glitch. It was literally programmed in on purpose. Okay. No, Thrill Kill. I don't own that one. I mean, I could always, try downloading it sometime if I can remember. Let me write myself a note here, and I'll see if I can get that one going. Let me see here. Hopefully this doesn't slow down the stream at all by me going in here to... Oh. Interesting. Well, I may not be able to do that. I'll have to get back to you on that, Big Mech. I don't know for sure if I'll be able to do that or not, but we'll see. So let's go to some Donkey Kong Jr. Getting into some of the better black box games. And a lot of these games were amazing games to us back in the day. For those of you who might still be young or don't really know a whole lot about NES, I would go over to my brother's friend's house. He had I want to say it was the ColecoVision, and anytime my brother went over to his house, I always wanted to go as well because I just wanted to play Donkey Kong Jr. It was one of my favorite games back in the day. Come on, what are you doing? Let's get down here or something. You gonna come? Oh, there he goes. That was weird. I've never seen him do that before. Yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you there, Pee-wee. I mean, especially, I'm guessing that they're not going to have it online and available working. It'll probably be a while before they get that going, but especially if they started doing the online store right away as they're releasing the consoles, people probably wouldn't be interested anyways because they wanted to install their own stuff. But I think it is going to be a little bit of a hard sell. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle for them either way. But I am interested in buying games off of that. Now, I'm a physical person, and you know that's one of the things that I like about the Polymega is being able to put my physical game cartridges. Again, I've talked about this many times. I think for people like me, it's going to be a hard sell unless they have a good price point. I mean, they really have to have a great price on those games for me to go digital on them rather than physical. But if they have officially released games like Samson, like we were just talking about just moments ago, that will actually be worthwhile buying a digital copy, because I'm not going to buy a physical copy of that game. There's no way I'll be able to. But if they can get it on their digital store, yeah, I'll probably buy it. I'm hoping, you know, their NES games aren't going to be too expensive. Maybe, you know, around $5 a piece or something like that. But it you know, only time's going to tell on something like that. That was quick. Okay, yeah, so it must have been the Coleco, like I was saying. So you had Donkey Kong Jr. and ColecoVision as well. We had Donkey Kong on our Atari 2600. We had Mario Brothers, but man, the 2600 it just could not handle the games like the Coleco could. I mean, the Coleco was pretty awesome. If I remember correctly, there was even an adapter for the Coleco that allowed you to play the Atari 2600 games on the Coleco. So that was pretty awesome. Arcade games, yeah. I mean, and they could do it. I mean, they could easily do it. I mean, they're gonna have to introduce a new emulator to the console to be able to do some of that stuff. And I would pay for arcade ROMs. I definitely would. I mean, I built my own arcade cabinet. I absolutely love the thing, but the problem is, anytime I want to play an arcade game, you know, I've got to take. Dang, I just got killed. I've got to take the time to, you know, to turn it on, and though it's not very hard, it's just a button on the top of my cabinet. It's not something that I do as often as I used to. Man, I'm doing horrible. I guess that happens when I talk. One game that I would absolutely love to see as far as an arcade game goes is Duraku Tenchi. I don't know if any of you happen to know anything about Duraku Tenchi, but and I'll probably call the company name wrong. I always do, but Sikyo, something like that. They had this unreleased game. They only did test markets. I actually owned the arcade board for it and never got around to actually turning it into an actual arcade cabinet like I wanted to do. But I've got the arcade board for Duraku Tenchi. I fell in love with that game on MAME many years ago. And I'd love to see that game get a release. It was supposed to actually get a physical release on the Switch. Now, whether or not that's ever actually going to happen, nobody really seems to know at this point. I don't know if COVID caused any problems with that, or exactly what the holdup is on it. But from the sound of it, it may not actually get its physical release. But if there was some way of physically releasing that game on the Polymega, dude, I would absolutely love it. Again, especially if you can get online play going, because we've got a group of people who get together from time to time just to play Duraku Tenchi online. I haven't done it for a while, but yeah, I miss that game. How do I beat this stage? I don't remember. He's not dropping any of his... Okay, maybe if I get them out of the way... Hey! Oh, okay. Oh man, he just got ticked off at me. You know, and it might, the Neo Geo CD emulation, I mean, that would make sense. Man, I love the Neo Geo CD on this system. Honestly, the Neo Geo CD emulation on the Polymega has almost, I'm not totally there yet, but has almost convinced me to sell my Neo Geo AES stuff. Now, I do also have an MVS, actual upright cabinet, so it wouldn't be a huge loss. I don't have very many MVS games, though, but I have come so close to just getting rid of my AES stuff because of the Polymega. I know if I do that, though, I'm probably gonna just absolutely hate myself afterwards. That's kind of the way those things go sometimes. So you do know for a fact, Pee-wee, you have heard them say that they were going to do arcade games, or I guess maybe they were saying that they are interested in doing arcade games. I mean, they could do it, for sure. They can do it. And it would be nice if they could do that to get a good piece of the pie. 'Cause, I mean, if they got the console games already going, you know, just from physical cartridges, it's not going to be a problem. Buying games for arcade would be awesome. Oh my gosh, really? You have the old Coleco adapter for Atari? That is awesome. Yeah, I never owned a Coleco myself. A lot of those older consoles I never got into. Of course, our family, we had the Atari 2600, but we didn't, you know, my parents didn't, we didn't have a lot of money. But, oh man, I think I just cornered myself. Oh, that was sweet. So we had the Atari, but it took a long time to get anything else. We were wanting an NES, you know, just like everybody else wanted an NES back in the day. And my parents, they instead ended up opting for a computer for us, which was awesome. You know, and getting a computer, I think was good for me, especially at the age when we did get it, because it really kind of sparked my interest in computer programming and computers in general. And I was able to kind of cut my teeth on an old, it was an IBM, what was it, EGA, it was a 256, I don't remember, it was a Zenith Data System, so it wasn't even a real IBM, it was just a clone, crud, it was a clone system. But I was glad that we got a PC. But later on down the road, you know, we kind of wanted an NES even more because PC, it wasn't quite there. As far as gaming go, PCs really they didn't start getting good until, I don't know what, more to the mid to late 80s. So we still wanted an NES. Eventually, my parents broke down. Oh dang! I didn't think that was going to reach me. And got us a Sega Master System, which, you know, back in the day, you know, to me, I was like, you know, what's a Master? I don't even know what this thing is. But I am so glad that they got that for us, because again, that sparked a whole another love interest as far as that goes. And lately as well, I've been buying Master System games again. Dang. Okay, I'm in the wrong spots for that, but I do hope that the Master System is going to be one of the systems that they support, which they already said that they were. Oh crap! Here's another crappy game. I'll have to go through it anyways, just so you guys can see it. Well, now the people who do the archive games now, of course, they can only release those on the Switch. If I'm knowing correctly, I might be wrong about that. But they can only release those games on the Switch. Anytime that they, you know, set it up for a new system, they're gonna have to get a special rights to be able to release the stuff. I would like to see some, you know, maybe some Neo Geo stuff, especially the stuff that was never released on CD or the stuff that was never released on the AES. It would be awesome to be able to see that. And I thought about getting some of those things for the Switch. Oh crud, that was a bad move. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, if they work out a deal with them, and then they can work out a deal with the different companies to be able to release some of those things for the Polymega, that would be pretty awesome. And they're you know, they know what they're doing as far as programming goes. They have done some great work. And I was actually very surprised to see them be able to get the rights to do Donkey Kong, the arcade game, on the Switch. I thought that was something that would never happen because the rights hell that game has fallen into, because of the deals that Nintendo made with the company who did the programming for. I see. I can't even remember how that worked. It was really strange. Like they did. One company did the programming for it. Nintendo did the publishing of the arcade system, something like that. But Nintendo owned the character of Donkey Kong because it was a creation of Shigeru Miyamoto. But anyways, we're gonna jump over to Mario Brothers here. Shock Troopers. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a good game. HD NES packs. What's that? Is that a Switch thing, or what is the HD NES packs? I've not heard of that before. Or are you just talking about like the upgraded ROM hacks? That, oh dang, forgot how floaty this game was. I didn't mean to hit that power block. So where they'll take like Super Mario Brothers, for instance, and kind of upgrade the graphics. Is that what you're talking about, or is it actual HD? That was horrible timing there. Oh. Whoa. Okay, wait a minute. So HD NES packs, a Polymega feature. Can you explain this a little bit? No, I have not heard of this. Ah, dang. So is that strictly a Polymega thing, or is it something that can be done elsewhere as well? Because I might have to do that while we're on here. HD. Yes. I'm looking it up right now. Oh my gosh. Zelda Remastered? HD NES Famicom downloads. Okay, let me pull this up here. Okay, so this is some kind of archive that I'm downloading. Let me see what this is. Bomb Sweeper. No, this can't be it. So let me see here. Recommended way to create a graphics pack. Okay, so that's for creating graphics packs. This isn't the actual. Let me see. Downloads, emulators, other files. Let me try that. ROM conversion. Okay, so that just converts. That's not what I'm looking for either. Man, I don't know. I have never heard of this. This is really really awesome. I mean, of course, it'll be even better if I can find some of these actual HD packs and try it out right now. How sweet would that be? NES Metroid HD ROM. Okay, let me see. So that's on romhacking.net on their forum here. Increase resolution, increase frame. What? You gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh, dude. That is beautiful. It looks like a Super Nintendo game. Okay, so download HD pack here. Okay, I'm going to try to download this here. Couldn't preview the file. Okay, no, I don't care about that. File is too large for a Google scan. Wow. Okay, so this is not just a simple patch. This is like a whole thing. I mean, this is a big file. Um, Let me see this. Of course, I mean, this is downloading pretty fast here, but it's going to slow down the stream a little bit. While that's downloading, the stream is going to slow down. I know that for a fact. Um, Digital Foundry video about Polymega from 2019. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Polymega about this, but you know, it's definitely worth a try. Um, Actually, it's pretty close to being done. Let me pull my memory card. Better yet, I'm going to actually use my thumb drive instead, so it's a little bit easier to get access to. All right, so the one I downloaded here, there's a problem with the drive. Of course there is. Scan and fix. The one that I downloaded is for Metroid. Let me unzip this folder and see what this is all about. In the meantime, so that this is not sitting on a blank screen, let me exit out of this game and so I can get some Polymega music kind of going in the background. Let's see here. So it's got several folders with different sound effects, music. alternative HD packs. Well, and it's possible. I mean, it's possible that it might not be integrated quite yet. Now, I know they, obviously the MSU1, that's something that they had implemented. Okay, so here's another zip folder. Let me unzip this. Okay, this looks like graphics packs. I wonder if that wasn't supposed to be unzipped. Okay, well, no, here's an IPS patch. All right, let's give this a shot here. Let's see, where is... All right. Well, let me keep that there. I'm just take this whole thing. Metroid HD. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna throw it into my patch folder. This will take a second. NES. Okay, and I think the version of Metroid that I have is the first version, not the re-release. So this should work. If it's gonna work, this should work. And of course now my stream is starting to get hit. Let's see, cancel. Alright, almost done here. Slowed down, it's probably transferring the audio files right now. Nope, I guess it's the PNGs that it's transferring. That's interesting. That is really interesting. I'm gonna have to talk to the guys over at Polymega. I mean, if this doesn't work, and just find out exactly what it is that that'll get this going here. Almost done. It's got about 1 minute left, but you know how that'll fluctuate depending on the file sizes and whatnot. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look. I mean, even if it's not something that I can get working on the Polymega right now, it'll be something worthwhile to kind of look into and try to get a few of those, even if it's just to try it out on my computer, of course. You know what? I guess I better also check. See, and those are all zipped up. I don't know if those have to be unzipped or not. I'm gonna unzip it anyways. All right, no, because now that it's on my thumb drive, that unzipping is gonna take a while. So we're gonna give this a shot. If the audio doesn't quite work right, I'll know why at least. But let me eject this. And plug her into the Polymega. Alright, well, let's see what happens here, guys. Alright, select a patch. You know what, though? Dang nabbit. Alright, one more moment. I gotta unplug my other memory card. Alright, now I'm gonna try that. Okay, I was having some issue. So if you're just now reconnecting, I don't know if it was recording it or what, but we're back. I don't know if there was any kind of hiccup, but all right, I'll back this up. I'm gonna start that back from scratch here. Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it dropped way down, and now it says that I have an excellent connection. So, anyways, this is amazing. This is super amazing. This looks like, you know, the Game Boy Advance remake. I am just blown away and in complete awe. Now, check this out, too. My energy, it's at 99, where normally when you are playing this game, of course, so it's not like the Game Boy Advance game where you start off with just 30 energy and you have to try to survive. Can I shoot downwards? Okay, no, I can't. Is it still buffering like crazy? Again, according to what YouTube is reporting back to me, it says it's in excellent health. I'm definitely going to have to put this on my permanent memory card, the SD card. Now, I am seeing some glitching that's happening now. I don't know if that has to do with the way maybe this hack was programmed, or if it's the Polymega causing that, if it hasn't been fully implemented, I don't know. But this is unbelievable, guys. Listen to that. This is almost like a MSU1 for the NES, I guess, except to the third power. I mean, the graphics are amazing. Wow, okay, I was not expecting that. That is pretty ingenious there. I like how they took a blend of the two different hallways and just kind of merged them together there. Even Nintendo didn't do that. Oh, look at the background. Oh man, that is pretty wicked. Yeah, man, thank you so much for telling me about this. I mean, I know what I'm going to be doing as far as another stream coming up next time, but dang, dude. Okay, and the background, check that out. It's got that oh, I don't know, I can't think of the word that you would call that, but the way it scrolls there rather than everything just completely going black like it would on the Super Nintendo game. This is trippy. I should turn my turbo on. Playing Metroid, the NES version of Metroid, but I just can't get into it the way I used to. This is going to just make it feel so much more entertaining again. I love it. Oh, dang. Check that out, even a map. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry, Matthew. I was just about to respond to you when when I saw that, but but yeah, I mean, they definitely. I mean, they talk about that the translation patches. They and same thing with the MSU1. They kind of announced that they implemented it. It's not a complete implementation. I don't think, because I know with oh gosh, what is that game called? Killer Instinct. I wasn't able to get a really cool Killer Instinct hack working on the Polymega. So I sent the details to them on that hack, hoping that they'll be able to get it to work properly. Wow, look at all that slowdown when I'm shooting like crazy, though. But this is beyond amazing. I am going to have to do some research, find out what other packs have been made, and just go to town. So you've been following a lot, yeah. I don't know how this got missed. If it was in one of the readmes that they might have given to us, and I just somehow glanced over because of some of the other more important things, or what I thought was more important. Oh my goodness. This is almost like the first time that I saw MSU running on an actual Super Nintendo. I mean, I know this is obviously some wizardry going on here. It's not straight up NES. How awesome would this be if you can get this kind of stuff running on the NES with like a flash cartridge or something, though? Man, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, pretty much as far as like the CD titles go, I mean, I would think that almost any of those hacks should work. But on the other side of that, I did try a CD hack that did not work for me. It was for Final Fight to make it more with the arcade style graphics, not graphics, but coloring for the Mega CD. And I wasn't able to get it working. I don't know why. Maybe I had a different version of the Mega CD version of that game, or what. Maybe I should try hunting down a different copy and see if that's what the problem is. I mean, as far as IPS patching, I've learned a little bit, especially since getting the Polymega. I've learned a little bit more about how to get that working, even for a ROM hack that I may not own the cartridge for. Like, I own a different version. I'm able to figure out a way to... Oh, crap, I don't have enough missiles. Anyways, what I'm saying is I don't know a whole lot about patching on CD systems. So hopefully I can get that at some point going. But yeah, the patches should work just fine. I don't know. Let me see. Is this normally a widescreen game? Let me go back to that NES. Okay, no, that one is in 4:3 ratio. I'm looking at it on the romhacking.net. So if I were, I mean, I could stretch it, but that's, obviously not. Oh gosh, yeah, I can't do that. Well, the jump seemed to not want to work properly there. That was weird. Gotta try to get a couple more missiles here. That's weird. Those missiles were coming like crazy before, and now I can't get any missiles to appear. So some do have the widescreen. All right. And my guess is the hardware will probably be able to recognize that. Yes, there we go. The hardware will probably be able to, or the hack itself will probably be able to recognize that I'm going to actually have to do any kind of adjusting for. All right, I got to do this. Oh, okay, it's not going to work. It comes out way too quick with this controller. This controller is one of those ASCII rapid fire units, rapid fire Super Nintendo controllers. I was wanting to see if I could do the bomb trick with it. That's one of the main reasons I fell in love with this controller, is because I used to use that with Super Metroid. But it looks like the bullets come flying out of this way faster than it does on the Super Nintendo anyways. But when it looks... Oh, man, this just looks so amazing. My wife just called me a little while... Oh, crud. Called me a little while back, letting me know that dinner was done. I was going to get off, but I might have to at least play up to Crad. Crad? I'm not sure how to say his name. But it's been so long since I've even played this game. But I want to see what that dude looks like. Games that haven't worked on the Polymega. Alright. So as far as that goes, I have some games that do not work on the Polymega. One of them is Phantasy Star 4 for the Genesis. I actually happen to own 2 copies of that game. I own a copy of it for the Genesis, and then I own the Mega Drive version. The Mega Drive version of it worked just fine. Oh, it looks like my stream is getting messed up again here. Dang it, come on, dude. Okay, so my Mega Drive version of it worked just fine. And after talking to Playmaji, talking it out with some of the other beta testers, it turns out that there are some, I guess, versions of that game. Some versions of that game that just do not work on the Polymega. Now, the good news is they have corrected that. The correction hasn't been released yet, but on the next firmware update, all of the versions of Phantasy Star 4 are going to work just fine. So, you know, that's good news. I have had some other games that haven't worked. I can't get the cartridges to actually be seen by the Polymega. That's a whole nother story, though. I mean, it could be because of it being a dirty cartridge. Others, it may be because, well, maybe something got messed up when Polymega was doing an update or something like that. Right now, I've got 4 TurboGrafx games that are kind of sitting out here. I've got Bonk's Revenge, Championship Forever Boxing, Ghost Manor, and Night Creature. None of them work on my Polymega, but they should. I've cleaned them. They aren't recognized by the Polymega. But I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm hoping that that's going to be something that they're going to be able to get working as well. Or maybe it's just my Hue cards that aren't working. But for the most part, I have not run into really any problems with games just not. Ooh, dang. That sounds crazy. Almost a bit of a distortion with that audio. The nice thing about this hack, though, since I did find where that audio file is, I might even be able to fix that myself. But anyways, yeah, I mean, overall, it's been working great. Very few problems running into with the Polymega. Hold on. Oh, that's right. I was thinking I was somewhere else. there's also some animation to go along with that. Ah, crap. Well, it's Pee-wee. As far as the Master System goes, they did actually say that they are working on the Master. Hey guys, I guess you can see that there's some hiccups with my internet right now. I absolutely hate it when this happens. I was wanting to do this closer to the afternoon because I'm sure more people are jumping on the internet around this area, causing some slowdowns on my system. Before I call it for the night, I just wanted to address Funky Genome there. I don't know if you have seen it or not. There is... I don't even remember what it's called. It popped up on my radar just the other day. But somebody has a Kickstarter that's going right now with some kind of... Is it like a Raspberry? I don't even know if it's a Raspberry Pi. It's got 4 controller inputs. It's got a cartridge slot so you can put your cartridge games in there. And it looks like you can rip them. I don't know a whole lot about it. There are games that you can download and play, games that you can play with people via streaming, and even be able to do kind of video chatting with your friends while playing. That looks very similar to the Polymega. Now, it's not a Chinese company that's trying to knock them off, but it's another company, you know, that saw an idea and they thought they would go for it. Now, whether or not it's going to even be funded, I don't know. It really doesn't interest me a whole lot. The Polymega has really grabbed my attention beyond, and it's an awesome system. So they're gonna, I think, have a hard time, you know, even getting people to back it. But you know, they might even get the crowd of people who are tired of waiting for the Polymega, and they might start backing this other one, which I guess I really don't see that happening either. But if I could find what that's called, I'll try to put some information out on that later on too. But yeah, Pee-wee, I will definitely keep doing some Polymega streams. I am interested in doing an HD stream next time. So I'm going to do some research into that and see what I can find. If I don't have the games for them, see if I can source those games either from local stores or getting them off of eBay, so I can do some of that stuff. Because this is cool. This is really cool. Thank you so much for telling me about it. The UI of the Polymega, it's, man, I mean, it kind of, I just love even the relaxing music that comes along with it here. But the beautiful look to it, and also being able to modify, like I just did here for today. I took all my Black Box games that I own and I put them all into a playlist here, so that I could go through them a lot easier for streaming. But I mean, besides for streaming, you can have your favorite games listed in something like this. Excuse me, man. But yeah, the UI of the Polymega is beautiful. The music that goes along with the UI, the design of the console, being a modular console, the sleek look just in itself is beautiful. But being able to swap out those modules to add more games that you own from different consoles, another besides Master System kind of getting on a hook for that, I've been also getting Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I'll talk more about that. Actually, I was going to be working on a video last night, but I got too tired. But some stuff that I've been messing around with lately. But I hope that they do a Game Boy module. If they do a separate Sega Master System module, it would be awesome if they would also include the My Card games as well as the Game Gear games. That would just be awesome. But you know, that's a whole nother video in itself. Um, so your 2019 order as well. Waiting a while, yeah. Well, I mean, I had mine in what was that, 2018, 2018. So I'd still be waiting for it as well. My brother and I, we purchased ours at the same time, and he's still waiting for his too. And he's, oh, I don't want to say daily, but we talk quite often. And one of the things that usually comes up is Polymega. I mean, he really is wanting his Polymega, just like all of you guys are. So these 5,000 units that are supposed to be coming next month, that's awesome. That is really awesome. I don't know how many Polymega units have actually been ordered on the whole. Um, I don't know if it's much more than 5,000, if it's 10,000, if it's even higher than that. But I do know that this console is amazing. And, I would not give up on it ever. I mean, and I have it. Of course, yes, it's a little bit easier for me because I do have it in my hands. But after I got my modules, what did I do? I pop onto their website and I drop some more money for those Sinden light guns. I fully support Playmaji. I back them. I support them. When they're getting bashed, there's some of the stuff again. They brought upon themselves. Other things, there's been a lot of things that have happened in the tech world, and even the big tech companies are struggling right now with being able to get chips and that sort of thing. So it's not just Playmaji's fault. I mean, there's a lot of things that are causing problems. Um, but let me see, what's this? Retro Freak. The Retro Freak. I was this close to getting it, and then I decided to kind of go away from that. The main thing that I wanted that for was for the TurboGrafx. But after I heard about the Polymega, I kind of pushed away from it, and I think it was also after I played the Retron 5. I hated the Retron 5, so I kind of started moving further away from it, and then the Polymega or Retro Blocks kind of popped onto the scene, and I just held out, and I'm definitely glad I did. I mean, the Retro Freak. I mean, it might have been kind of cool to have for the time being. I've never used it. I've never really looked a whole lot into it past when I was somewhat contemplating getting one. I see, now you got that on my mind. I'm probably gonna have to, while I'm sitting here eating dinner, I'll probably have to pop on YouTube and take a look at some videos of that as well. But okay, so they said it was 20,000. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. See, I figured it would be a lot lower than that, to be honest. But that's that's encouraging. And I'm hoping for those people who are out there who have been waiting for it that you keep holding out. I love the console. I I don't play it daily, but pretty close to it. Um, and just being able to see some of the things that they've been adding, like this right here, the HD NES games. My gosh, that's mind blowing. Yeah, it wasn't something they developed themselves, but they implemented it. They implemented so I can take my physical cartridge, my NES games that I own, plug it in to my Polymega, and to be able to play games on a whole new level that I would have never imagined being able to even be possible. You guys saw it. You saw how beautiful that was, and I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get some more of those games downloaded, and we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do a stream on those later. Yeah, thank you for that. Who was that? Pee Wee, I think, that told me about that. Thank you very much. Um, Retro Freak is better than the Retron. That's not a hard thing to do. I don't think the Retron was pretty bad, especially that controller. I hated it. But anyways, guys, I will see you next week. I'm going to try to pop in here. I usually, on Sundays, if I have time, if I don't have any other things going on, I'll try to probably get in here between 12 and 2 o'clock to do a couple of hours and, kind of just see where the wind blows. But until next time, you guys, I hope you have a great evening and keep on gaming. Take care, you guys.